Jonathan Kersting with the Pittsburgh Tech Council. It's our 40 stories. I'm having way too much fun talking to the coolest companies in Pittsburgh that are members of the Pittsburgh Technology Council. In the middle of summer, feeling good. Talking to Clint Zediak from WGL Energy. Clint, thanks for hanging out with me today on 40 stories.
Yeah, Jonathan, thanks for having us. I've been keeping track of this series on your website, and
thank you.
Very excited to be here.
And you still decided to come on.
I did.
That's what I'm talking about. What do you think of the view from 40 stories up here? I mean,
That's fantastic.
You can just see everything.
You can.
It's an amazing view of Pittsburgh from up here as far as that goes. So
That's
Clint,
right.
What's your background and what do you do at WGL?
Yeah, so born and raised in the Pittsburgh area.
Excellent.
A Pennsylvania boy. Been in energy over 20 years. Spent the last 10 at WGL Energy, where I lead the sales and marketing team.
Okay.
And we're a competitive retail supplier, which I know we'll get into. Headquartered in Vienna, Virginia. Been in business about 25 years.
Excellent. You say 25 years on one side, but I know WGL's roots actually go way back to like 150 years ago or something crazy like that, right?
Yeah, I can tell you did your homework. So our utility, Washington Gas, which is the local gas utility of the Washington, D.C. area,
Right.
is celebrating its 175th birthday
Wait,
this year.
175?
175 years this year.
Oh my God. See, that's cool when you have that kind of like foundation behind you at WGL.
Yeah.
So what you guys do is really interesting, and some people may not even appreciate, but they do when they get the utility bills, especially
That's
when
true.
you're a business.
That's right.
Is assuring a consistent price in your energy, which is not easy. There's a lot of science and crazy tech
A lot of
that
math.
goes by, and a lot of math that goes into making that happen. So
Yeah.
tell us how WGL works in order to provide that consistency.
Yeah, so when you hear the term competitive energy supplier, there is a lot of confusion. But basically, if you look at your bill, you have three parts, whether it's electric or gas. You have distribution, transmission, generation.
I have the ouch, oh my God, and what the,
Yeah,
my part of my bill, yeah, okay, sorry.
So the distribution
Yeah.
is your local utility. That price is regulated typically by the Public Utility Commission of that state. Nothing to do with a company like WGL Energy.
Right.
The transmission and the generation, that's where there's a competitive market, and we are basically financial advisors for that part of the bill. And if you think about it, the distribution are the poles and wires that connect your house to your local town. The transmission are the big pipes and wires that cross state lines and get the molecules and electrons where they need to go. And the generation is the generation power plants and the gas drilling that
Right,
gets
the
the
whole
molecules.
the ecosystem that makes it happen. So when I turn my
Exactly.
lights on, I'm like, yeah, my lights come on.
Exactly.
But I don't take that for granted because I know it's a crazy system out there. And the role that you guys play in is just so important because what it comes down to at the end of the day is costs and being able to count on a cost, not seeing spikes and craziness because that can just really hurt a business.
Absolutely. Anyone who's been paying attention to the news the last year or two has seen the volatility in the energy markets.
I know.
Prices from 2021 to 2022 almost doubled. They've come back down to almost where they were in 2021. So just in the last 18 to 24 months, there's been an incredible amount of volatility that if customers are not shopping with a supplier like WGL Energy, they're basically inheriting that risk. So
right.
we're kind of the financial advisor that can help customers manage that risk.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And you work with both, obviously, companies and individuals as well, too, right?
Absolutely. We serve residential customers. We're quite often fixing a price is the best strategy for them. We work with large commercial, industrial, public sector companies that may have a little more expertise and experience, so we can fix their whole price, or they might want to fix half of it, but the other half go on what we call index if they have a view that prices are coming down.
Cool.
But again, we're basically that financial advisor to them for those 2/3 of the bill that are open to competition.
And how big is your team here in Pittsburgh?
We're growing, so we're probably up to about 7-8 people now in our
Excellent.
office that's located here in downtown.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. See, Pittsburgh can land and expand.
I'm slowly
Simple
drawing
as that.
people back
There you
from
did.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
So we're always looking forward here on our 40 stories. We could have been old school and said, let's tell stories from 40 years ago.
Right.
But no, we're going to be like, we're looking ahead. 40 years from now, I mean even 40, but just in the future, where do you see Pittsburgh as in its economy going as far as the fact that tech is growing here and how WGL kind of really helps companies grow because you help keep their costs stable.
Yeah, I mean, geez, who knows what the next 40 years is going to bring, right? I mean, 40, 50 years ago, we were going to live on the moon and no one heard of the internet. And now no one's on the moon and the internet's everywhere, right? So the next 50 years could be anything, and you're right, Pittsburgh with all the AI and tech that's coming here. We're so happy to be members of the Tech Council because, again, we want these companies to innovate. We want them to push the boundaries. We can manage their energy volatility, make sure they get a predictable price that they can use to help manage their budgets, so they can put their time and resources into innovation and what they do best.
It's such a valuable service because it's one of those deals where it's like, yeah, they can do the innovation, you can manage the energy stuff.
Right.
And I'd rather have you do it for me anyhow, because I don't want to think about that kind of stuff. I just want to make sure that I'm not freaked out when I get my energy bill.
Exactly. You want to focus on what you do best as a business, so
Exactly.
let all the energy stuff to a supplier.
And that's why we're stoked that WGL is a member of the Tech Council, because it is truly an ecosystem that makes the Tech Council and makes our tech industry go. It's because we need companies helping other companies. Everyone's got a service that all plays in to helping our companies innovate and do great stuff.
Yeah.
Clint, so glad you're here in Pittsburgh building a team. And then we're doing for WGL, bringing some of that 175-year history right here.
That's right. Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Clint, you're the best, man.
Thank you
So much, man. Thanks for being on our 40 Stories.